Confused on choosing best Resurgence weapons in Call of Duty Warzone? Here are the top meta loadouts to consider in Season 5 Reloaded. Contrary to popular belief, Call of Duty is not just about a first-person shooter that lets you take part in cool action sequences. While the campaign may seem that way, the picture for multiplayer is a fully different aspect. There is a lot of skill and planning that goes behind a round of multiplayer. Join a game of Warzone and it gets much more tense, as every aspect of the gameplay is dialed up to 100. In such a tightly contested game, what makes the lives of players easier is the loadout they pick. The right gun for the right job makes it much easier to win a game of Warzone. With the meta changing every now and then, the need to know what weapons to have in your loadout is a must. If you cannot find the right weapons in the meta, we have you covered. Call of Duty Warzone meta loadouts after Season 5 Reloaded. With the Season 5 Reloaded update, Call of Duty shook things up. This meant the meta changed, leaving players unsure about what guns to pick. Here are some loadouts to pick to obliterate your enemies in Warzone Resurgence after the S5R update. Remember, while some attachments are recommended, attachments such as sights purely come down to personal preference. Some might feel comfortable with a red dot sight while others want the plain iron sights. Feel free to experiment and see what works for you with the loadouts. Additionally, the perks remain the same. Overkill, double time, fast hands, and high alert are the go-to perks for these loadouts. Rap H and Vaznev combination. The Rap and Vaznev combination is quite interesting. Both are quick machine guns, with fast time to kill. What makes this combination excel is the Rap's proficiency in handling long-range engagements. Add the 100-round magazine on the machine gun to keep the ammo flowing. Moreover, add the ZLR Talon 5 muzzle with the Hound 9G grip to give you a nice balance of control and silence with the suppressor. The Vaznev is an old reliable. With the 45-round magazine, get the True Tac rear grip as well as the Otrazat stock. For the front of the gun, pair the CAS-1 barrel with the FSS OLV laser. This makes for a great close-range engagement weapon that has incredible mobility. Lockman 762 and Fennec 45. The thing to understand about this combination is that it takes effort to get the high time to kill. The Lockman 762 has the best time to kill in the game. This is where it gets tricky. You need to use attachments to compensate for the high recoil. The 50-round magazine should have your ammo needs covered. The Ripper underbarrel is a godsend when it comes to compensating the recoil. Add the Bore 490 to the mix and using it on full auto becomes a much easier task. Lastly, the Rap barrel is the final attachment you need to make the recoil manageable. As for the SMG, we have the Fennec 45. While the Fennec 45 might seem difficult to use, especially with ammo limitations, it becomes viable on Resurgence, since you have information available. The Vilk laser will be a big help with the aim-down sight speed. Use the maximum magazine size, which is 45 rounds, since the gun shoots quicker than most weapons. Lastly, the FTAC Loctite stock should improve movement speed. Tempest Razorback and ISO 45. This is arguably the best combination in the list since the time to kill is pretty high. Starting with the Razorback, you cannot go wrong with the 60-round magazine. Add the 5.56 high-velocity ammunition to keep the damage fall off over the range in check. The DM Proto grip with the Komodo heavy muzzle makes the recoil negligent. If you did not expect the ISO 45 in the list, reconsider your weapon choice. The ISO 45 is one of the best SMGs in the game, especially since it is near perfection when it comes to balance between time to kill and movement. The Vilk laser and the Express shear grip combine to maximize the ad speed. The SK3 Cheetah stock makes your mobility much better. The gun performs well when you consider the attachments placed on it. The sprint to fire speed is incredible and has the potential to dominate servers. Kastov 762 and MX9. The Kastov is a big gamble since the high recoil might be difficult to use. The attachments compensate for it. The FTAC Ripper underbarrel is a good addition, considering it stabilizes the weapon by quite a bit. Add the ZLR Talon suppressor and you have a silent yet deadly gun with a manageable spray. Lastly, get the 40-round magazine with 7.62 high-velocity ammo. This makes long-range engagements much easier since controlling the spray is less of a problem. The MX-9 is an interesting choice, as it is often overshadowed by other SMGs on the list. The main issue is the biggest magazine attachment only gives you 32 rounds. This makes taking on squads quite a challenge. It is not impossible, however, and only needs managing the way you take on opponents. Put on the 16.5 Brune barrel as well as the Brune 0900 grip. It transforms the gun into a mid-range SMG that has a good ad speed. Lastly, the FTAC C11 should round things out. The thing to understand with this loadout is that it is difficult to master. Once you learn how to do so, it becomes deadly in the right hands, making it an incredible loadout option to have.